EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, think about the TPC Scottsdale. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch, nerve, had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
Second shot, good look at the green. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at Eagle coming up.
A little bit more hope than determination in that putt.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
Yeah, starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
Back over now to the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment. Oh, this is right at it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Yet another birdie and yet another tie at the top of the leaderboard.
Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year, played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Moorish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
They par yesterday. This one for birdie. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich. When he goes after it like he is here.
Wow, what impact. Absolutely crushed it.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory Mcilroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Good chance at one. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. But that was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. It used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
And it makes the green in regulation. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after two rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything, birdie opportunities, hole.
And with that birdie, moves into second place. Now here at the par 4 8, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of two bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those two bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway. This could be a good one. Just a superb shot.
you're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Racking them and stacking them, that's 12 under par now for the tournament. Here at the par 4 ninth hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
Should be safely on deck.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. And getting ready for the putt. Drops it in for birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. This from 110 yards away. Frank having to deal with the elements today.
Yeah, this is anything other than just playing on a calm day, so you've got to be so aware of the direction it's coming from. He's done a good job.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Schroeder alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament.
That's what you want to see right now, right there. Great birdie.
Time running out, but still, he could get the job done. We'll see. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is here all along?
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Rich, is that an eagle?
That is an eagle, and that is a move all the way up to second place.
That's a doozy.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory Mcilroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Dropped shot and a dropped position on the leaderboard.
This game's never about being perfect. It's about being resilient.
Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history. A couple of names. Right up from the top.
Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason. Not just an eagle, too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there was just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
What a big spot this is to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only the course today, but all week long.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Our featured golfer making the turn. Let's pick up with the action at the 10th.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the balance? Rich, that is annihilation of a golf ball.
Absolutely love it. I mean, he just tore that thing to pieces. 105 yards. Frank, pretty special for tour pros to get an invitation from Arnold Palmer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one thing to meet him. It's another to shake his hand, to be invited by him. That's as good as it gets.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards. I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway, just short of that second bunker. And it sets up 6 or a 7-0.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Birdie try up next. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Frank, now we're at the 574-yard, par 5 12th. How critical are the par 5s if you're trying to put a score on the board here at Bay Hill?
That's crucial, Rich, because the par 4s are very, very difficult. So anytime you get a par 5, you've really got to take advantage of it.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long.
Second shot.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's at sneaky distance. That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
This for birdie. Has the birdie to move to 3 under par for the championship. Frank, this is an interesting hole. It's the par 4 13th, and it isn't necessarily a driver off the tee. What are the options?
Yeah, you break it down. 250 off the tee leaves 120. There's nothing wrong with playing the hole that way. Get a little over ambitious here and run out of fairway. That second shot over water. Whoa.
Par 4 13th, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
And things are starting to tighten up right now. You can see where the next move comes from.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. A great way to start a hole nicely placed in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Good-looking shot right here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Wow, Frank, I did not expect that. An eagle. Well, after that beast of a par 5 with all the water, take a sigh of relief and you come to the par 3 7.
It still takes a good tee shot here, though, Rich. Narrow entry, and the green's 30 yards deep. You still really got to focus on hitting a good shot here.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So a tester from 4 feet. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a little tap in here. Bad news is, that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
He's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. He made it a real cat fight.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Here's the second shot from 180. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration.